Kahaladin wa Kalkabad, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shah, Wahakadash Bakha. Double honor to the apostles and elders of GMS, and greeting and salutation to the brothers teaching and preaching the truth in truth and in truth, no, Salaki, in truth and in sincerity. And to the hopeful elect, Shalom. This is Master Clark from the Grand Rapids camp. Doing a little quick lesson. As you see on the screen, the word that I'm going into is integrity. Pretty much, the word integrity. When you go into the word, you will see that it's a strong word. And what I mean by strong, in order for you to, I'm gonna be quite honest. In order for you to open your mouth and say that you possess it, you really gonna have to show it. It's not something you just say, like how people in vain ass relationships say, "Oh, I love you." "Oh, you love me?" "Yeah, I love you." "Yeah, that's right. That's right." You think that motherfucker really loved you? See, a person say something, but they don't, especially when they don't know the definition of things, they don't really mean that shit. And by going into this word integrity, it also, the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah opened my mind to see that, especially if you, I'm not gonna, let's be honest. If you a young man and you interested in the truth, and let's be truthful, if you're a wavering wave in the truth, this video might be something for you, because that's what integrity is all about. It's not about being double-minded. So instead of holding you up, I got a few scriptures going to the subject. So without holding you up and giving you this long ass intro, check this out. This is the word integrity. The definition of integrity, it says firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic value, incorruptibility. See what I mean? That's why I said it's a strong word. I mean, firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic value, incorruptibility. That means you stand firm in a moral value, or you stand firm in an artistic value. The code to that, like you stick with that shit. You don't waver. Not a piece of pussy gonna turn your head and make you say, "Man, but you don't understand. She was fine." Nah, it ain't gonna be none of that. Being firm. And then the next one, it says, an unimpaired condition, soundness. That's the reason why I said it's a serious word, so you can't use it loosely. And to test the spirit by the spirit and to check some temperatures, I'm gonna be quite honest. Just like I said, if you are double-minded in the truth, or if you are a young man interested in the truth, but if you new to the truth, I hate to hurt your feelings, but I'll put you in the same category of, no, you don't possess integrity yet. You new to the truth. You new. Even I'm quite fresh, but I'm talking about like 1 or 2 years new. You new to the truth. You do not possess no integrity. What have you been through to prove that you have integrity? Because, let's go on. The third definition of integrity, it says the quality or state of being complete or undivided completeness. As we was mentioning about the double-minded person, because you cannot be undivided. Okay? And that's the reason why I said don't use the word so loosely, because you'll make yourself a hypocrite before the Most High Yahweh and men, because you're going around saying, "I got integrity." Okay, cool. You got integrity. What just like the scripture, wait a minute, before I misquoted. Yeah, this is James chapter 2, verse 18. It said, "Yea, a man may say, Thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my word. So to use this scripture to backs up pretty much, man. You can't sit there and just out of your mouth you say what trials have you been through to prove yourself? And another thing, what trials not and then really listen to what I'm saying. What trials have you been through to really prove yourself? Because just because another man suffered does not get you into the kingdom of heaven. Just because another man suffered and he behaves wisely in the situation does not get you in the kingdom of heaven. Just because you his friend. Remember that. Wait a minute, hold up. Forgive me. I believe my microphone is messing up. Okay. Oh, that actually is going right to the subject. This is Philemon chapter 2 verse 12. I could scroll down. Oh yeah, they ain't got the other one. This is Philemon chapter 2 verse 12. It says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling." Damn. So I hope you understand what that means. It's not on the account of somebody else. It's the account, your account. What have you gone through? What can you prove? Like that, and it's not about boasting. It's just look within yourself. Don't boast about this shit. Because if anybody need to boast about any damn thing, you need to be boasting about Yahweh Shai. If anybody want to speak up talking about they done this, they done that, you need to be talking about Yahweh Shai. Because I can tell you for the truth of the matter, man, you can sit there and say you done this, you done that, and Yahweh Shai will strip that shit from you and slap you in the fucking face with that shit to remind you you didn't do a goddamn thing. So if anybody need to be boasting, you need to be boasting about Yahweh Shai. So that's what I'm talking about with the integrity thing. Don't don't get to try to prove that. Don't open your mouth as if you proving somebody. Don't open your mouth. Let your work. Just wait a minute, hold up. Just like the scripture said, I will show you my faith by my works. Let your works speak for itself, man. Don't be running your mouth on that, man. Don't be boastful. Don't be proud, because that's what that can lead you to. But still sticking with this on integrity, because that's a part of integrity, being, of a sound mind. Key thing, a sound mind. The etymology, origin and etymology of integrity says Middle English, integrate, in, man, I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm gonna just spell that. I ain't even gonna say that. Integrite. Okay? For Middle French and Latin, Middle French. I'm gonna do it again. Integrity apostrophe above the E from Latin, and I'm gonna do it again because I'm not even going to attempt it. So that's one thing I do. I'm starting to hate is attempting to say a word and say that shit incorrectly. So again, I spell Integra. No, fuck you. Let me do this with one I, so I won't get no dyslexia going on. Integritat, and then it go Integritas from Integr. You get the point. You get the point. If you're interested in studying the little Latin, you could go look up these words if you on your own. I'm gonna be quite honest. I'm not a fan of Latin. Um, but pretty much the gist of what integrity is: being of a sound mind, being one, being fully persuaded. So with that being said, this is James chapter 1 verse 8. It says, a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And to help you understand that even more so, this is James chapter 1 verse 6. It says, let's start at the 5th verse. James chapter 1 verse 5. It says, if any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of Yahweh to give it to all men liberally and upbraid it not, and it shall be given him. But let him ask in faith, nothing wavering. For he that waver is like a wave of the sea driven with the wind and tossed. For let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Lord Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways, which is true. If you can't make up your mind on what, something simple, do you believe in? Man, I don't know. I don't know. I like IUCK. But GMS they got a lot of video, but I like IUICK, cause they ain't all rough like that, man. I can sit back and play the video with my girl and my children. You know what I'm saying? A double-minded man. Which one is going to be? Is it going to be GMS or is it going to be IUIC? Make up your mind. So for the young man who is interested in the truth, this now goes towards you, because the double-minded man, as you can see, he's already condemned. As you can see, he's already condemned, because the scriptures even said, for let not that man think that he shall receive anything of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. You can't receive nothing. You can pray, you can fast, you can't get nothing, because why are you double-minded? You might say that's what you desire, that's what you want, but at the end of the day, you don't even really fucking know. But as soon as you receive it, you're going to change your mind. After that, when somebody take it away, you're going to change your mind. It's just going to be like a little game playing on with some schizophrenic, crazy ass motherfucker doing some stupid ass shit like that. And if you offended by my language, I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. If you're a male, you might need to go play sports. If you're old enough to still play sports, but if you're too old to play sports and you're a male, you might want to kill yourself. This is a serious matter, because it boils down, you gotta have a sound mind. Because look at it, like, say for instance, you can't make up your mind whether you're gonna follow IUIC or GMS. Guess where else you're gonna be like that in life? You can't make up your mind if you, I'm just make it simple to not hurt too many people. You can't, decide that you're just gonna be with skinny chicks, or you're just gonna be with fat chick. But then after that, when you with skinny chick, you talk shit about fat chick. But when you with fat chick, you talk shit about skinny chick. But somehow, some way, everybody only see you fucking with skinny and fat chick. Not thick, not in between. Not, even if you're sick, if your mind is fucked up and you like that shit. Not even muscular women. You just keep going from skinny to fat. But you keep talking shit about both of them. You're double-minded. That is crazy. That's an unstable mind. Because that's where it rubs off. You go from one area being double-minded, and this area, that's why the scripture said a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. Because it's true. You might not think it is, but it's actually true. Moving on. This is 1 John chapter 3 verse 22. And it says, whatsoever we ask of him, because we keep his commandments and do these things that are pleasing in his sight. I had to wipe my eyes because I ain't gonna lie, I really want to snap about this one. That's the reason why you have to have integrity, because it's to have a sound mind. If you really serve the Lord, then with your own mind, you're gonna serve the Lord. Ain't nobody gonna be there in the background whispering to you, "Hey, hey, hey, you fucking up, man. You ain't serving the Lord hard enough, man. You need to serve the Lord, man." No, you got to do that on your own. You can watch a video and that can, motivate you. But guess what? Say for some of you, when you slip into the darkness and you remain there and you don't even come around the light at all because you in love with what's taking place in the darkness. When you get caught up in this zone, check this out. There's nobody there to remind you about the truth. There's nobody there to remind you about instruction. Remember, you're in the dark. So, going back to this, and whatsoever we ask, we receive of him because we keep his commandments. Didn't I mean? Hold up. Damn, man, I am addicted to food, man. Uh, shit like that. Shit. My motherfucking ass. Hold up. I might have to fuck around and edit this because I'm trying to find. Man, they act like they don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay. You know what? Fuck that. I'm gonna do it like this. No, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. So let's go to. Here we go. This is First John chapter 2 verse 9. I'm sorry for holding you up for that, but this is First John chapter 2 verse 9. It says, "He that said that he is in the light and hated his brother is in darkness even until now. He that loveth his brother abideth in the light, and there is none occasion of stumbling in him. But he that hated his brother is in darkness, and walketh in darkness, and knoweth not whither he goeth, because that darkness has blinded his eyes." Pretty much it. So when you're in darkness, you don't know that you're in darkness. And because you don't know that you're in darkness, you're not going to keep the commandments, man. Pretty much. Just start, instead of beating around the bush, you're not going to keep the commandments as long as you're in the darkness. As long as you love dark, you're going to fucking sin. And keep on sinning. And adding sin upon sin. You just didn't do the regular sins that you've been doing. No, now you adding sin onto it. Now you got some devices to go along with it to enhance that shit. That's what the fuck taking place with you, and that shit's not cool. So, going back to the original, First John chapter 3 verse 22, "And whatsoever we ask we receive of him because we keep his commandments and do these things that are pleasing in his sight." Because you have to do those things that are pleasing in his sight, which is keeping the commandments as well as having faith, as well as just doing your fucking duty. So when you say, man, I do this, I do that, and that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. You want to cook you because you did what you're supposed to do? I mean, damn, man. Okay. I did forget. There's sometimes, yeah, sometimes you could, if you pay a percentage toward rent, not the full thing. If you pay a percentage toward rent, sometimes you can get some money back for that shit for doing what you're supposed to do in the first place, which is pay your rent. But for the other people who don't pay no percentages to rent, they gotta pay the whole thing. Do you get a reward? The only reward that you get is that you're still in the crib. You're not evicted. That's it. But did you get a reward for doing what you were supposed to do? Fuck no. Just do the shit, man. That's why the scripture talk about do it willingly. That's what the scriptures talk about. Do it willingly, man. Not sitting up here doing it just to be seen by people. Who cares? Who gives a fuck? Because when you dead and gone, there's not going to be another one of you. But actually, since you do shit to be seen by people, there actually is going to be another one of you. But the people who actually sincerely do good things, nobody's not even going to give a fuck about the good that they do when they're gone. They're going to miss it. They're going to reminisce it. But half a generation later or a generation later, hell, some people, the way this generation is, goddamn, man. A third of a generation later, man, fuck that. They gonna forget about you. They're not gonna talk about that shit. Only people who hearts you touch are the only ones who gonna talk about that. So moving on, still dealing with the subject. This is 1 John chapter 5 verse 14. And this is confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. And if we know that he hear us, whatsoever we ask, we know that we have the petitions that we desired of him. Remember when I was mentioning James about the double-minded man, let him not even ask anything, because he can't receive anything. Because why? He don't have a sound mind. And just like the scripture points out, that and this is the confidence that we have in him, that, listen to this part, please listen to this part, because you might get it fucked up and think, but I thought that that's my confidence. That's why I believe in the Lord, because I prayed and he's supposed to answer all my prayers. Check this out. Let's start this shit over. This is 1 John chapter 5 verse 14. And this is the confidence that we have in him, that if we ask anything according to his will, he heareth us. Did you see how you missed out? The whole point. It has to be according to his will. If it's not a part of Yahweh's will, you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it. Simple as that. That's the reason why I said the confidence that we have in him. Because, okay, if it's not according to his will, you don't receive it. How can you sit back and get mad? All those other prayers that you put up, did he answer those? So he did. So he answered all your other prayers. But just this one prayer he didn't answer. Obviously that means this one prayer that he didn't answer is something that's not part of his will. Regardless how much you feel like that's supposed to happen. No, man, it's not going to happen. Sometimes you have to, remind Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai the words, sometimes you might have to remind them of the words. Yet the scary part that I look at it, that you don't really want to do that, especially when you're not on that level, like you're not his friend. Who am I saying his friend? You're not Yahweh's friend. You're not King David. You're not Abraham. You're not his friend. So therefore, to be quite honest, you just gotta deal with the cards that you give them. If they don't approve something, regardless of how you feel, you just gotta let it go. Because that's all developing integrity. Because integrity is firm adherence to a code of especially moral or artistic value, incorruptibility. So you hold on to your faith and stay firm onto that, because you know what petitions that were answered by Yahweh Shai. You know what petitions were not answered by Yahweh Shai. Yet you continue to serve Yahweh Shai because he's kings of kings and lords of lords. But the thing is, you have to make up your own mind. You have to be persuaded in your own mind with everything that you do in life. Because it's not just about, I don't want to say it like it's not just about this truth, because it actually is about the truth. I just don't know how to articulate the words that I'm trying to say. That it's not, the point is, I'm trying to point out, it's not just about studying about the truth, it's about living the truth. Because that's where that integrity comes in. How do you show soundness if you're always underneath the brothers? How do you show the quality or state of being complete or undivided, meaning completeness, if you're always underneath the brothers? When you're in your darkest hour and you have to stand alone, how can you develop integrity if you're always underneath the brothers? It's the equivalent of a child being underneath the parent all the time. When, or I would say the first experience that you have going to preschool, you're accustomed to being underneath your parent, and as your parents leave, you might start crying and running towards your parent because you around strange people. And you don't want to be around them because they're strange. You're not familiar with any of them. So you run back to your parents. Then your parents have to remind you they're not always going to be there in your life. So that's the beginning process to teach a child how to conduct themselves in public without the presence of their parents. Same thing with integrity. That cannot be developed if you're not working on that as an individual person. A few hours to yourself is not doing that. Because I know some might have to work and shit. And then, you might fellowship for a few hours. But and you might do those few hours like every day. To hurt your effeminate feelings, who cares? At the end of the day, when the brothers are not around, can you still be this manner of man without somebody saying calm down or none of that shit? Can you calm yourself down? Or does somebody have to tell you to calm down? Can you keep your emotions in check? Or does somebody else have to do that? Can you study? Or does somebody else have to remind you? Can you motivate yourself? Or does somebody else have to do that? Is the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai dwelling within you? Meaning it's the spirit of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai pushing you, or you so carnal that you don't even know that you're carnal, that you always seeking some fleshly assistance. So, with that being said, the thing is to develop integrity, because integrity is mainly for the soul that can possess it. Because as you can see in James, as well as kind of backing up in the book of 1 John, is that a double-minded person does not have integrity. And without integrity, to be quite honest, that means you can't get shit from the Most High, because you can't even make up your mind. And if you can't get shit from the Most High, that means you can't get shit from Yahweh Shai. Most things probably gonna fuck around and happen to you. You might play some mental games on you. Like, you probably you cast, I really don't want to use that example. But to give a better example of that, they're play some mental games with you. You can ask a particular question, and then a lion spirit probably might return an answer to you. And to go into the scriptures to help you see that, I'm not going to read this whole thing. Yeah, this is First Kings chapter 22, verse 22, and it said, "And Yahweh said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so." Come on. That I was trying to see if I need to read the next verse, but pretty much you get the point just right there. Pretty much, yes, the Most High. What happened was Ahab was trying to figure out, was he going to go to battle and be successful, but he didn't want to just go to war and just fight and then fuck around and get his ass whooped. So what he did, he went around asking the prophets, and all the prophets kept saying the same thing. He's like, man, I just don't like this. Everybody's saying the same thing. Something's wrong with this. See, Israelites, the spirit of Yahweh Hashem and Yahweh Shai, even within a wicked man like Ahab, or Ahab, Ahab, Jezebel's husband. I believe he was the king of Judah. Ahab, when he was asking those prophets that, and pretty much they pretty much was lying to him in his face, but he could tell that something was wrong about that. And then he went to one prophet that he usually don't like to listen to, because he always tells him something that he don't want to hear in the first place, because pretty much everything he tell him is fucked up. So, because, alright, I ain't even going to add it anymore. I'm going to just say that. So he asked this one prophet. The prophet come through and, let him, he tell the same lie. Then after that he said, I told you he got nothing good to say. And after that the prophet broke it down about, hey man, check this out. In the spirit world, the Most High, he don't like you. He want to see you die. So therefore, there was a council going around trying to see what's going to happen. And yeah, that's when it leads to 1 Kings chapter 22, verse 22. And it says, and Yahweh said unto him, Wherewith? And he said, I will go forth, and I will be a lion spirit in the mouth of all the prophets. And he said, Thou shalt persuade him, and prevail also. Go forth and do so. So, like I'm saying, you can do that if you want to. You want to sit there and be double-minded, man, they fuck around and, they play with your motherfucking head. Have you all sorts of fucked up. Have you all sorts of fucked up. Have you seen a schizophrenic? It's not a good sight. You haven't seen a schizophrenic? Well, you need to stop driving your car and catch a subway, or either the bus, the city bus. Catch that motherfucker, and you will see some schizophrenic. Who are the schizophrenic? Whenever you see somebody just sitting there doing all that talking to themselves and shit, yeah, that's a schizophrenic. That's what schizophrenics do. So, I hope you was edified. And now that you know what the word integrity is about, and I'm not trying to put no burdens on nobody, so please, I hope this video is edifying. And if it seemed like it was a burden, that's not my intention. I just desire that you have integrity, because this is not to me, this is not a game. Because when you look in the scripture and you see that you can have blood on your hand, there it is. This is not a game. I'm not trying to have no motherfucking blood on my hands, and I'm also not trying to be something that I'm not. So that's what I'm all about. So, and that is all about integrity. Because why? Just like I said, an unimpaired condition, sound. You gotta have it made up in your mind. You can't let me speak and then now you have this in your mind. No, you have to have this already in your mind. This have to be your thought already. If your thought is not like the next man, don't worry about that. We are not robots, bro. We are spirits. We are spirits, not robots. So stop trying to be like the next man. Just be yourself. And if yourself is that shameful, the Lord will take care of you and remove you. Seriously. So, like I said, I hope you was edified. And with that, I'm going to say, Kal Haladi Makal Kabar, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shab, Wahaka, Slatu Wahai, Padas Rahai. Double honor to the apostles, the elders of GMS, and greeting and salutation to the brothers teaching and preaching the truth And greeting and salutation to the brothers teaching and preaching the truth in truth and in sincerity, and to the hopeful elect. Shalom.